John Euler Jack Lemmon 3, February 8, 1925 – June 27, 2001, was an American actor and musician. Lemmon was an 8-time Academy Award nominee, with 2 wins. He starred in over 60 films, such as Some Like It Hot, The Apartment, Mr. Roberts, for which he won the 1955 Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, Days of Wine and Roses, The Great Race, Irma La Douce, The Odd Couple, Save the Tiger, for which he won the 1973 Academy Award for Best Actor, The Out-of-Towners, The China Syndrome, Missing, for which he won Best Actor at the 1982 Cannes Film Festival, Glengarry Glen Ross, Grumpy Old Men and Grumpier Old Men. Early life. Lemmon was born on February 8, 1925 in an elevator at Newton Wellesley Hospital in Newton, Massachusetts, a suburb of Boston. He was the only child of Mildred Burgess LaRue, née Noel, and John Euler Lemmon, Jr., the president of a donut company. His paternal grandmother was from an Irish immigrant family. Lemmon attended John Ward Elementary School in Newton and the Rivers School in Weston, Massachusetts. He stated that he knew he wanted to be an actor from the age of 8. Lemmon attended Phillips Academy, class of 1943, and Harvard College, class of 1947, where he lived in Eliot House and was an active member of several drama clubs, and president of the Hasty Pudding Club, as well as a member of the Delphic Club for Gentlemen, a final club at Harvard. At Harvard, Lemmon was a member of the V-12 Navy College Training Program, and he was commissioned by the United States Navy, serving as an ensign on an aircraft carrier briefly before returning to Harvard after the end of his military service. After graduation in 1947, Lemmon took up acting professionally, working on radio, television and Broadway. He studied acting under coach U.T.A. Hagen. He was enamored of the piano and learned to play it on his own. He could also play the harmonica, guitar, organ, and the double bass. Career. Lemmon's film debut was a bit part as a plasterer, painter in the 1949 film The Lady Takes a Sailor, but he went unnoticed until his debut, opposite Judy Holliday, in the 1954 comedy It Should Happen to You. Lemmon worked with legendary actresses, such as Marilyn Monroe, Natalie Wood, Betty Grable, Janet Leigh, Shirley MacLaine, Lee Remick, Romy Schneider, Doris Day, Kim Novak, Holliday, Rita Hayworth, June Allison, Verna Lisi, Anne Margaret and Sophia Loren. He was close friends with actors, Tony Curtis, Ernie Kovach, Walter Matthau and Kevin Spacey. He made 2 films with Curtis, and 11 with Matthau. Early in Lemmon's career he met comedian Ernie Kovach while co-starring with him in Operation Mad Ball. Lemmon and Kovach became close friends and appeared together in 2 subsequent films, Belle, Book and Candle and It Happened to Jane. In 1977, PBS broadcast a compilation series of Kovac's television work, and Lemmon served as the narrator of the series. Lemmon discussed his friendship with Kovach in the documentary Ernie Kovach, television's original genius. He was a favorite of director Billy Wilder, starring in the film Some Like It Hot, for which he was awarded Best Actor at the Cannes Film Festival, The Apartment, Irma La Douce, The Fortune Cookie, Avanti, The Front Page, and Buddy Buddy. Wilder felt Lemmon had a natural tendency toward overacting that had to be tempered. The Wilder biography Nobody is Perfect quotes the director as saying, "Lemmon, I would describe him as a fine ham, and with ham you have to trim a little fat." The biography quotes Lemmon as saying, "I am particularly susceptible to the parts one play. If my character was having a nervous breakdown, I started to have one." He enjoyed a long time working relationships with both Blake Edwards, starring in Days of Wine and Roses, 1962, The Great Race, 1965, and That's Life, 1986, and Richard Quine, starring in My Sister Eileen, Operation Mad Ball, Belle, Book and Candle and It Happened to Jane and How to Murder Your Wife, 1965. Quine also directed Lemmon's screen test when the actor was signed by Columbia. Lemmon recorded an album in 1958 while filming Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe. 12 jazz tracks were created for Lemmon and another 12 were added. Lemmon played the piano and recorded his own renditions of Monroe's trademark songs, I Wanna Be Loved by You and I'm Through with Love, for the album which was released in 1959 as A Twist of Lemmon, Some Like It Hot. Lemmon was awarded the Best Supporting Actor Oscar in 1956 for Mr. Roberts, 1955, and the Best Actor Oscar for Save the Tiger, 1973, becoming the first actor to achieve this rare double. The only other actors to achieve this are Robert De Niro, Gene Hackman, Jack Nicholson, Kevin Spacey, and Denzel Washington. He was also nominated for a Best Actor Oscar for his role in the controversial film Missing in 1982, and for his roles in Some Like It Hot, 1959, The Apartment, 1960, Days of Wine and Roses, 1962, The China Syndrome, 1979, and Tribute, 1980. He won another Cannes Award for his performance in Missing, which received the Palme d'Or. In 1988, the American Film Institute gave him its Lifetime Achievement Award. Days of Wine and Roses, 1962, was a favorite role. He portrayed Joe Clay, a young, fun-loving alcoholic businessman. In that film, Lemmon delivered the line, "My name is Joe Clay. I'm an alcoholic." 3.5 decades later, he stated on the television program Inside the Actors Studio that he was a recovering alcoholic. Lemmon's production company JML produced Cool Hand Luke in 1967. Paul Newman was grateful to Lemmon for his support and offered him the role of the Sundance Kid, later played by Robert Redford in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, but Lemmon turned it down. He did not like riding horses and he felt he'd already played too many aspects of the Sundance Kid's character before. Lemmon appeared in many films partnered with actor Walter Matthau. Among their pairings was 1968's The Odd Couple, as Felix Unger, Lemmon, and Oscar Madison, Matthau. The first film they starred in together was The Fortune Cookie, for which Matthau won the 1966 Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, The Front Page and Buddy Buddy. In 1971, Lemmon directed Matthau in the comedy Koch. It was the only movie that Lemmon directed and Matthau was nominated for the Best Actor Oscar for his performance. Additionally, Lemmon and Matthau had small parts in Oliver Stone's 1991 film, JFK, the only film in which both appeared without sharing screen time. In 1993, the duo teamed again to star in Grumpy Old Men. The film was a surprise hit, earning the two actors a new generation of young fans. During the rest of the decade, they would star together in Grumpier Old Men, Out to Sea, and the widely panned The Odd Couple 2. In 1996, Lemmon was awarded the honorary Golden Bear Award at the 46th Berlin International Film Festival. In 1997, Lemmon was a guest voice on The Simpsons episode The Twisted World of Marge Simpson, playing the character Frank Ormond, owner of the pretzel business that Marge Simpson franchised. The recurring character Old Gil Gunderson, voiced by Dan Castellaneta, is an ongoing parody of Lemmon's character in Glengarry Glen Ross. At the 1998 Golden Globe Awards, he was nominated for Best Actor in a made-for-TV movie for his role in 12 Angry Men losing to Ving Rhames. After accepting the award, Rhames asked Lemmon to come on stage and, in a move that stunned the audience, gave his award to him. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association, which presents the Golden Globes, had a second award made and sent to Rhames. He received the AFI Life Achievement Award in 1988. Lemmon won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Miniseries or a Movie for his role as Maury Schwartz in his final television role, Tuesdays with Maury. His final film role was an uncredited one, the narrator in Robert Redford's film The Legend of Bagger Vance. Personal life. Actor Kevin Spacey recalled that Lemmon is remembered for always making time for other people. Already regarded as a legend, he met teenage Spacey backstage after a theater performance and spoke to him about pursuing an acting career. Spacey would later work with Lemmon in The Murder of Mary Fagan, 1987, Dad, 1989, the critically acclaimed film Glengarry Glen Ross, 1992, and on stage in a revival of Long Day's Journey into Night. Lemmon was Spacey's mentor, and taught Spacey that people who do well in a business have an obligation to send the elevator back down to help lift people starting out on the ground floor. In his autobiography, My Life, Burt Reynolds recalls Lemmon as the quintessential gentleman who never spoke ill of anyone, even if they deserved it. This kindness backfired for Reynolds. Prior to accepting the lead in WW and the Dixie Dancheckings, 1975, directed by John G. Avildsen, Reynolds asked Lemmon, whom Avildsen had directed in Save the Tiger, 1973, for an opinion of Avildsen as a director. Lemmon told Reynolds that Avildsen was okay, and Reynolds accepted the role. After the film was released and his experiences in production proved unhappy, Reynolds complained to Lemmon and described Avildsen as an asshole, whereupon Lemmon replied, "I guess you could say that." Lemmon was married twice. His son Chris Lemmon, born 1954, was his first child by his first wife, actress Cynthia Stone. His second wife was actress Felicia Farr, with whom he had a daughter, Courtney, born 1966. Farr had a daughter from a previous relationship, her marriage to Lee Farr, named Denise. Lemmon was a Catholic. He publicly announced his alcoholism during a 1998 interview on Inside the Actors Studio. To golfers everywhere, Lemmon was known as the star of the celebrity-packed third-round telecast of the annual Bing Crosby National Pro-Am, AT&T National Pro-Am, held at Pebble Beach Golf Links each February. Lemmon's packed gallery was there not only for his humor but also to root him on in his lifelong quest to make the cut to round 4, something he was not able to achieve. Death. Lemmon died of metastatic cancer of the bladder on June 27, 2001. He had been fighting the disease privately for 2 years before his death. He was interred at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery in Westwood, California, buried near his friend and co-star, Walter Matthau, who died almost exactly 1 year before Lemmon. His gravestone simply reads, Jack Lemmon, in filmography, film, television, discography, A Twist of Lemon, Some Like It Hot, 1959. Piano selections from Irma La Douce, 1963. Piano and vocals, 1990. Peter and the Wolf, 1991. Songs and music from Some Like It Hot, 2001. Sources: Wise, James. Stars in Blue, Movie Actors in America's Sea Services. Annapolis, MD, Naval Institute Press, 1997. ISBN 15575099379.